What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Hey. We are here for the Real Housewives of Dubai, season 2, episode 4. I believe we're on. All right, let's get to it. Sorry, y'all, I ain't had my light on. Um, Come on in, you guys. My eyes are watering. Uh-oh. Somebody just sent me a cash out. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Um, yeah. So let's get ready to get into the things. Oh shoot, that's not what I meant. I'm trying to put the link in the chat. Okay. So we pick up where we left off. We are seeing that Sergio and Caroline Stansberry, baby, the house is finally done. Okay, the house is finally ready for them to move in. They're going to be moving in about a week, even though there's still some things that need to be done. But the house is finished enough for them to get out of her friend's house because she knows that she is driving him absolutely crazy. Her stuff is all over the place. She is totally taking over his home, and basically everybody's getting on each other's nerves, right? So we see anybody who has ever moved, you know, all of the different logistics that are involved in moving. Um, Especially when you're moving into a home and you're responsible for everything. Like when you move into an apartment, you know, you may not be responsible for utilities and stuff like that. But when you're moving into a house, you're responsible for everything. And then I'm sure there's the added pressure that we are in Dubai, and I'm sure that things have to be done a certain way. And the fact that everything is in her name because he can't put the house or anything in his name because he hasn't lived in Dubai long enough. Like that's one of the laws, one of the rules is that you had to have lived there a certain number of years to own property in your name. So she's stressed out, he's stressed out, and basically he's supposed to be packing while she's making the phone calls and the texts and all the different moving parts. They end up getting into an argument, and honestly, I like he was mad because he felt like she wasn't telling him what was going on. She wasn't keeping him in the loop of all of the moving parts. She was like, "Can you just do what I asked you to do while I handle the business that I'm trying to handle?" Like, I get it. You want to be helpful, but you can't help me with this. So since you can't help me physically do this, then what I need you to do is to finish packing. Like, and then he was like, "Well, where do you want this to go? Where do you want that to go?" She was like, "I don't care. Like, pack it. Like, literally, all we're doing is moving it from here to there. I really don't care, you know." And I understand she has a lot of, you know, high price things, designer things, but baby, she sounded like she just was over it. Okay. So we see that Stansberry and Sergio's relationship is totally strained. And again, I think it'll be better once they get into their home. I think a lot of the stress is that they've been in close quarters for such a long time, living as nomads for such a long time. And I think both of them will feel better when they're in their own space, in the comfort of their own home. Um, I think that's a big part of what's going on with them now. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Now, while that is going on, we're getting to know a little bit more about Talene. Talene is a fitness buff, right? So we see that she leads these like boot camps for women. Yes, Tawanda. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you. Well, you know, YouTube be playing with my notifications, honey, but I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you got the notification. I'm glad you made it. We're going to be back at 10 o'clock for Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? So, you know, she said that this is something that, you know, fitness is important to her, and this is, you know, something she enjoys doing. We also find out that her husband is obsessed with having a boy. He is obsessed with them having a boy, and she is like, he is stressing me out. Every chance he gets, he brings up a boy, a boy, a boy, a boy. And it doesn't sound like she's in a rush to have another kid. Now, I don't know if she's totally shut down to the idea or if she's just kind of like, We got 2 young kids right now, and I need a minute. But the clips they showed, they literally showed him asking like every 5 minutes, even to the point where her mom was like, "Girl, does he do this all the time?" And she was like, "Yes, all the time." Now, while this is going on, child, Chanel Anon, hope I said that right. She is going to, I guess, like a forensic dentist, so she can get find out how old she is, because remember last season she doesn't know how old she is, and she thought she was a certain age, but then she said she found out that her mother was actually older than what she thought. So then that really kind of threw her off. Like, she really truly has no idea how old she is. So she's getting, I guess, a picture, like a I guess a forensic, that's the best I can come up, like a carbon footprint type thing to find out how old she is. So Stansbury came down there. Caroline Brooks came down there with her for them to go through this process together. So while she goes in the back with the dentist, Caroline Brooks is talking to Stansbury. And Caroline Brooks finds it absolutely stunning, right? That her and Stansbury are actually in a place now where they can sit in a room and have a civil conversation and not be ready to go at each other's throats. But she's also sort of what's the word I'm looking for? She's sort of surprised at the fact that Caroline Brooks and her have sort of fallen out. She said, "Look, we're at a point where, we talked, but I really didn't walk away from that conversation with any sort of resolution, with any sort of, I didn't feel better walking away from the situation, the conversation that I did walking towards it. And at this point, I'm cool. Like I can be cordial, you know what I mean? But at this point, I don't know where I want to do. I don't know if I'm even interested in moving forward with a friendship with her, because I just don't know I'm just not understanding what she got going on. Like, she just got too much going on." And so, Brooks is definitely, surprised by that, right? But she's also she finds it funny as well. Like, okay, well, we really went through all the stuff that we went through last year just for you and Brooks to not even be cool anymore at this point. We see where we get to spend we had this scene with Brooks and her son. Now listen, I try not to really get too much into, the younger kids. Like the teenagers, I have more of an opinion. But the younger kids, I try my best not to get too much into it. And she says that her son is sort of going through a phase, but he was coming off very bratty. Like, he was talking to her assistant / his babysitter real crazy to me. And then he was talking to her real crazy. Like, she was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" He was like, "I don't know, ask her." And she was like, "Why do I need to ask her?" He was like, "Because that's her job," or something to that effect. And then she was like, "Don't do that. That's rude. Don't talk to her. Don't talk to her like that." Like, she did correct him, but he was laughing. Like, he thought it was funny. She said, well, he's sort of at that age. He doesn't want to cuddle with me anymore. He doesn't want mommy's kisses. And he's just kind of going through. And then at a certain point, like, he hit her with the pillow. And again, when we're playing, it's cool. But she was actually trying to correct him and tell him to stop doing something. And he hit her with the pillow. Like, not only am I not going to stop doing it, I'm going to hit you too. I didn't find it cute, right? I get it that kids go through phases and kids go through, but like, he kept doing it. Like, girl, you needed to pop him. Now, I know everybody don't believe in that. I know that we're in the generation of gentle love and gentle parenting and timeouts and all of that. And maybe that's why I ain't never had no kids, because I ain't no timeout kind of girl, okay? Dude, I wish a kid of mine would hit me. I don't care if it was with a pillow. I wish a child would hit me. And then after I told him to stop, don't do that, he did it again. Mind you, she was sitting there planning his birthday party. Usually that's when kids act like they have the most sense, is when they about to get something. She was literally asking him what he wanted for his birthday and planning his birthday party. Child. I said, I wish I would. I would. Exactly, Tracy. Exactly. So her mom called and she was talking to her mom. We found out that her mom is It's gonna come. It's gonna be coming to visit. So I think that's gonna probably be interesting when her mom gets there. And she's telling her mom about her son, and she was like, maybe he's just at that age. He's just at that age, whatever. I thought it was interesting that they made sure that we heard her mom ask about Talene, because in real time, her and Talene are not friends anymore. Like, they legit fell out, and they are legit not friends anymore. And they were actually going back and forth on Twitter earlier this week. I see. I hate that, because it did look like they were really good friends, and I hate the fact that this show tore their friendship apart. Like, I really, really hate that. But that's what it looks like happened. It looks like their friendship is in real time not good. So I can only imagine how the reunion is going to go down. We saw Sarah and her business partner. I guess she's joining the show, which I didn't know she was going to actually be on the show, because she was at the dinner at the end of this episode, which I told y'all I didn't like her. Now, maybe I went too far. Maybe I shouldn't have said that I felt like she was racist, but I feel like what she said was not appropriate. And maybe she didn't have a problem with Anan because she is African, but I do feel like she judged her and that she got an attitude with her, and I definitely feel like she thinks she's better than her. Now, maybe I don't know, but I don't like her. I don't like her. Now, we found out that Sarah got a whole friend, a Keen, this bodybuilder dude that she done met, and she talking about something. Well, we were cool. We were really good friends. We've hung out a few times. We've become really good friends. So, I'm trying to see maybe where this can go. And now I'm looking at this dude, and I'm like, oh, well, no wonder things didn't work out with Mr. Alien Man last week, because they are night and day. Like, this guy looked like he lives in the gym. He lives in a tanning booth. He looked like he young, and I'm not sure how smart he is. See, this is what I'm talking about. Sarah, you say you want to make different decisions. You say you want to find different men. You can't make different decisions and find different type of men if you dating the same people. But neither here nor there, child. You turn the other dude away because you say he ain't believe in aliens and because he was the wrong astrological sign. But you're gonna date. Okay. I mean, listen, girl, if you like it, I love it. You let me know how that work out for you. If you like it, I love it. That's all I got. Okay. Child, it's moving day. We see them moving into the house. Again, it's still not 100% done, but it's done enough for them to get in. Everything looks gorgeous. Everything looks really nice. And we actually see some smiles on their faces. Now, what I thought was interesting was her kids weren't there, because she said that the kids didn't want to stay with her. But where the hell were they then? If the kids haven't been with you, where the hell were they? Who were they with? Because they daddy live in London, right? So excuse me, who were they with? Okay. Anyway, everybody back home now. One big happy family, yada, yada, yada. They apologize to each other for snapping at each other and, whatever. So we go over to Talene's house, and we find out that the guys had a guys' night out. Now, it was filmed, but I guess the scene wasn't interesting enough for them to actually put it on the show. But what we did find out was that Sergio was complaining about Caroline's kids and how Caroline's kids talk to him, which I found to be very interesting, that he, feels like, that they don't respect him and they talk to him, any kind of way. And so, Talene's husband was telling him, and you saw the scene where the husbands basically were telling him, listen, you're going to have to put your foot down. Like, you have to let them know that that's not cool. They can't talk to you like that. That's not acceptable. And, you know, but the problem is he's already allowed it to happen. Like, this has been going on for a couple of years now. You can't, it will be very, very hard. This girl is getting ready to graduate from high school. You can't, again, I keep saying you can't. It will be very hard to reverse that. So Talene was like, you know, I'm glad you gave him some really good advice. You know, I hate that for, you know, for Caroline. You know, me and Caroline are actually, you know, building a friendship, you know, and, you know, maybe I'll talk to her about it. Now, when she said that, in my mind, I was like, girl, hell no, you don't need to talk to her about it. No. Because you don't know her well enough to get involved in that. Right. I agree, Casey. Carolyn allows it to happen. I agree. But I was like, no. You absolutely don't need to get involved in that. You don't know her well enough. And when it's dealing with her kids and her husband, that's not it. So Ayan is having a queen's dinner. Now, it's funny because when Caroline Brooks was getting dressed, her son handed her a tiara. She was like, I'm not wearing that. That's tacky. And it was funny because everybody showed up. Well, not everybody, but Stansberry, Brooks. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Lisa said it was tacky. Brooks, Stansberry, and somebody else, I think, had a crown. And then Sarah was mad, talking about something. I didn't get the memo. Sarah, you know you wouldn't have worn no crown because you would have been like, oh my gosh, this is so pretentious. I would never do this. I would never wear a crown. Oh my gosh, this is just so... Girl, you know you wasn't going to put no crown on. So we get there, and they're at the hotel. The dinner is at the hotel where Beyonce had her show, child. So, you know, Ayan had to remind everybody that she had the VIPP. They were in, you know, VVIP or whatever it was. So, of course, everybody had to roll their eyes and be like, okay, y'all, we had that conversation. We do not need to have that conversation every time it comes up. Okay, we get it. We get it. We found out that Lisa's mom went back to Miami, and baby, she is not moving to Dubai. She was like, yeah, no. She was like, I have my job, I have my friends, I have all of my things. So no, I love coming to visit, and I miss you, and I miss my, you know, my grandkids, but baby, I will not be moving to Dubai anytime soon. Now, she didn't totally shut the door. She didn't totally shut the door, but baby, she didn't leave the door open. Okay, so it was just Stansberry, Ayan, and Brooks. Thank you. So they're eating dinner, and, you know, Ayan lets everybody know, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. You know, I think all of you guys are queens to me. And Brooks is more so Brooks than Stansberry. Like, clearly there's tension there. You know, Brooks was like making little funny faces, you know, where Ayan was, you know, giving Brooks, you know, saying something nice about Stansberry or whatever. Now, Stansberry is doing what Stansberry does. Child, she's sitting over on the side like she is just not bothered by it. Because her thing is, listen, I can coexist with you. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to be none of that. I could coexist with you. That's it, and that's all. So y'all said, listen, I feel like there's tension in the room between the two of y'all, and I need us to figure it out. And of course, both of them were like, no, I'm fine. We're good. Child, something is definitely wrong with Brooks. But somebody was telling me last week that she said that she, you know, she wanted to be the villain. Well, congratulations. I don't think that's it. I think that's her now coming back, knowing how the season played out. I think she really was going through something. I think she really was jealous of people's relationships. You know, again, it's that very elementary school thing where if I'm not friends with them, you shouldn't be friends with them. And if I'm, you know that something happened between the two of us, so you should have my back. Like, it's that very elementary school, you know, situation. So Ayan played this game where she wanted them, you know, who was a queen to you and why, right? So they're going around the table, and, you know, at first everybody is saying nice things about, you know, nobody was really saying anything about Stansberry at first, right? Somebody said Brooks. Somebody, said Ayan. Somebody said Sarah, right? I ain't gonna get into who said what about who because I think it's all bullshit. Because whatever. But Ayan said Stansberry. Baby, why she do that? The minute Ayan said Stansberry, baby. Well, Ayan said Brooks. I apologize. And Stansberry was like, I'm sorry, what? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Now, Ayan said there was a method to her madness. She realized that if she says nice things to Brooks, then Brooks will stay nice. She said, I just, I didn't want the mean Brooks to come out, so I just said what I had to say, right? So Talene says Stansberry. And she starts talking about, I know we started off rocky, but I really feel like that we're building a friendship and we're in a better place now. Baby, the look on Brooks' face, baby. Brooks felt some kind of way about that. You could tell she was in her feelings and you could tell she was pissed off. So again, like I said, I don't remember who else said what, because again, I just feel like it's just all BS, to be honest. Especially after Ayan said, I only chose Brooke so she wouldn't get mad, child. That's I said, well, none of this really means anything, child. So when they got done doing that, Talene says, Stansberry, can I talk to you for a minute off to the side? Now, let me tell you something. It was in that moment that solidified the fact that I like Talene. Because she could have turned that into a whole Housewives moment, especially being a newbie, especially being, new on the show, trying to find her footprint. She could have turned that into a whole moment. It definitely would have been a highlight reel moment, right? But she pulled Caroline to the side and said, listen, my husband went out with Sergio and Sergio was expressing, the fact that he feels a little, want about his relationship with the kids. He feels like, that they just don't respect him. And, I just wanted to let you know what was said. Maybe y'all can talk about it. And here's why I like Stansberry. Now, I know some of y'all don't like her, and I know it goes back to Ladies of London. Child, I never watched Ladies of London, so I don't know nothing about her from Ladies of London. But let me tell you why I appreciated Stansberry in that moment. Because Stansberry was pissed, but she was pissed at Sergio, and she didn't take it out on Talene. She could have very easily had an attitude with Talene and been like, well, why are you telling me? Why are you bringing that up? That's my private business. That's between me and my husband. This don't have anything to do with you. She could have went 5 different directions with that. But she didn't. She was like, well, she did let her know, well, listen, I always thought that, I thought that Sergio and my kids were cool. He has that relationship with them, but thank you for letting me know. And she was like, I'm pissed at Sergio. I'm not pissed at Talene. So they go back over to the table and Lisa, excuse me, y'all keep wanting to say Caroline Brooks. Lisa feels some kind of way because Lisa wants to know what the conversation was about. She just being nosy. And she wants to know what the conversation was about. Now, all of them, to be sure, let's be clear. All of them wanted to know what the conversation was about. Hell, if I was at that dinner, I would wanted to know what the conversation was about. You know what I'm saying? If I had watched that dinner, I wanted to know what the conversation was about. However, you have to respect the fact that Talene went out of her way to take Stansberry to the side to have the conversation. Now, let's be clear. Before it was all over said and done, y'all would have all known what the conversation was about. Because all Brooks had to do was call Talene. Talene would have told Brooks, and then Brooks could have told Ayan, and Ayan would have told, Lisa. However, in that moment, right? Right. Lisa definitely was doing too much. So Lisa gonna ask Talene. And Talene was basically like, well, that was between me and, Stansberry, And Lisa kept asking. So finally, Talene was like, why are you so worried about it? Why do you keep asking? Why are you worried about it? It was private. It wasn't your business. And then Lisa was like, bitch. She said, whoa, bitch. She was like, yeah, I said, bitch. Now, see? Here's where I have a problem. First of all, that wasn't even worth you coming at that woman out her name. That's number one. Number two, she let you know, don't call me that again. See, some people wouldn't have taken offense to it. Some people would have been like, girl, whatever. But clearly that word bothered her, and she told you it bothered her. So you felt like you were going to repeat it and basically tell her, yeah, I said it and I'll say it again. Then you told her, well, that's a bitch move that you pulled. So now, and it was funny because Talene was like, nah, that's two. She was like, yes, two and it's three. I'll say it again. That was a bitch move. I'll say it again. See, you was asking for Talene to smack the shit out of you. You was asking for that. Again, it all boils down to you just being nosy. You just wanted to know what was said. I could see if Talene had really done something rude or obnoxious. I could have even seen if her answer was rude and obnoxious. I don't think her answer was any more rude than your question. Because if I wanted the table to know what the fuck I was talking about, I would have said it in front of the whole table. Now, I get it. It's a reality show. I get it. I understand. But again, like I said, in true reality show fashion, baby, everybody would have known what happened. Everybody would have known what happened in 0.2 seconds. So that was pretty much the episode. I mean, honestly, the episode really wasn't, it wasn't unexciting. I won't say it wasn't a boring episode, but it wasn't like you had a whole lot of boom, boom, booms in it, right? But with that being said, that was pretty much it. Like I said, I ain't gonna drag it out because that was all they talked about, child. But we'll be back at 10 o'clock for Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. I'm trying to get y'all this content before I go. And I'm gonna upload some pre-records. I'll probably upload the pre-records for tomorrow and Monday. So that way I have some stuff, Okay. All right, y'all. I see y'all in an hour and a half. Come back for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Peace.